Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz, and this is Ron's Rundown. We're going to go over the MLB games scheduled for Wednesday, June 18th, 2025. If you like this video, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Put your baseball picks in the comment section below. And if you're looking for my best bets, including my daily rundown best bet in Major League Baseball, you can find those at the Premium Picks tab at pickdawgz.com. There's also a link in the description. Alrighty, here we go. Here are the games for Wednesday, Major League Baseball. First up, we've got the Red Sox and the Mariners. We've got Luis Castillo and Garrett Crochet as the starters. Now, the Mariners have pretty solid numbers against lefties in the last 30 days, but that is with a high strikeout rate and a pretty high BABIP, so I'm not really in love with their chances against Garrett Crochet, who is obviously a strikeout-dependent starting pitcher. He's been excellent as of late. Yeah, that one game against the Yankees at Yankee Stadium where he gave up the 5 runs, but outside of that, he's given up 2 runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5 games. He's had great strikeout numbers recently and overall this season. His control's been pretty sharp, 2 walks or fewer in his last 5 starts. So I think Crochet puts together 6-7 strong innings in this one. I think that Castillo could give up a few runs early in this game. I think it's going to be a lower scoring game overall, but I think the Red Sox take it. Give me Boston on the money line in this one. Next up, we've got the Philadelphia Phillies taking on the Miami Marlins. We've got Ranger Suarez for Philadelphia, but no official starter right now for Miami. Unfortunately, we do see that with a few games for this Wednesday card, as some teams are still deciding what route they're going to go with as starting pitcher or if it's more of a bullpen game. But in this matchup, I do think it will be a lopsided pitching matchup in favor of the Phillies, as Suarez is in good form. The Marlins have not been great against lefties this season, though they have improved a little bit in the last 30 days. I still think Suarez puts together a really strong outing, and the Phillies' bats are starting to wake up. So I'm going to roll with the Phillies in this one and lay the 1.5 runs on the run line. Next up, we've got the Pittsburgh Pirates and the Detroit Tigers. We've got Andrew Heaney and Tarek Skubal on the mound. Pair of southpaws going at it in this one. You got one of the best pitchers in baseball in Tarek Skubal, facing a Pirates team that has not been very good against lefties this season. I think Skubal could put together a really good outing. This is one of those games where you maybe even sniff out a little bit of a no-hitter or a perfect game situation with Skubal. If he was going to do it this year, this is the type of matchup to do it in. And, Andrew Heaney on the other side, he's been pitching well, but this is a tough Tigers lineup right now against lefties. I don't expect Heaney to get crushed, but I think the Tigers do enough damage offensively to cover that run line for Skubal. I expect like a 4-1, 5-0 type of final score in favor of Detroit. So maybe I lean towards the under, but the Tigers on the run line is the play for me. Next up, we've got the Colorado Rockies taking on the Washington Nationals. German Marquez and Mitchell Parker are the starters. This is a situation where I just think the Nationals are a little bit overpriced here because it's the Rockies on the other side. German Marquez, while he's given up some sharp contact and has struggled overall this year, has still been better as of late. We saw him put together a pretty good outing in his last game against the Braves. 5 innings, 1 run, 7 strikeouts. And he's given up 3 runs or fewer in 4 of his last 5 games. His strikeout numbers have been there as well, and he's not really giving up. He's given up 3 home runs his last 5 games combined. They all came in one start against the Mets. But you're facing a Nationals team that offensively has been very inconsistent as of late. The pitching staff has, of course, struggled this year. The bullpen's not great. Mitchell Parker, a lefty facing a Rockies team. It's not been anything special against lefties, but I still think the Rockies actually match up quite well against Parker and should be able to score a few runs off him and add a few runs to the Nationals bullpen. I'm going to roll with the Rockies in this one. Similar to the first game of this series, I think the Rockies compete. Next up, we've got the Angels and the Yankees. We've got Ryan Yarbrough and Jack Kohanowitz as the starters. Now, Yarbrough's given up at least 1 home run in 4 of his last 5 games, and facing an Angels team that in the last month has got pretty good power numbers against lefties, that is a little bit concerning on paper. But even if Yarbrough gives up a solo home run here or there in this game, I don't think it's going to be enough damage for the Angels to compete, even cover the run line. I think Kohanowitz does struggle quite a bit. I think the Angels still have one of the weakest bullpens in Major League Baseball. I think the Yankees score enough here to back up Yarbrough and this Yankees bullpen to win this game and cover the run line in the end. Don't really love the price, but I think the Yankees are the play, laying the 1.5 runs. Next up, the Diamondbacks and the Blue Jays. We got Eduardo Rodriguez for Arizona, but no official starter for the Blue Jays. Now, we've talked about how Toronto's got pretty good numbers this year against lefties, and that's, of course, in the last 30 days as well, with their top 5 in team OPS. I think they match up well with Rodriguez. We'll see who the starter is for Toronto. But I've also mentioned I think this Blue Jays bullpen is quite underrated, and I trust it enough in this game. I think the Blue Jays give the pitching staff a lot of run support in this one. So maybe the Blue Jays team total over, but I think Toronto on the money line is also worth a look. Next up, the Minnesota Twins and the Cincinnati Reds. We got Bailey Ober and Nick Lodolo as the starters. Now, Bailey Ober has gotten crushed recently. We've seen him give up 12 earned runs in his last 2 games combined, and now pitching at Great American Ballpark against a Reds team that's pretty hot against right-handed pitching, not necessarily where you want to be as a starting pitcher. And Ober's also given up 6 home runs his last 2 games combined with 7 walks to go with it. So his control is just way off. He's missed, and the 6 walks is really alarming because Ober throughout his career has really had good control. He usually misses inside the zone, if anything. If he's going to miss inside the zone, down the heart of the plate, usually some extra base hits. But him walking 6 guys is a big concern for me. I don't trust him right now in his current state, his current form. And at Great American Ballpark, like I said, the Reds have been doing pretty well against right-handed pitching in the last couple of weeks, in the last 30 days overall. So Nick Lodolo, for me, is kind of a wild card. He struggled in his last game. He's been inconsistent this year. The Twins, not the best numbers against lefties. I'm not sure what we see from Lodolo, but I think the Reds do score a lot of runs. So give me the Reds team total over. Next up, we've got the Mets and the Braves. We got Paul Blackburn and Chris Sale as the starters. Now, even if this is more of an opener situation for Paul Blackburn where he only goes 1-2 innings, I still don't love the spot for him. I don't think he's a viable pitching option right now for the New York Mets, a team that's got so many good pitchers around him in the rotation, in the bullpen, could be a top 5 bullpen in Major League Baseball. You know, going opposite Chris Sale against your rivals on the road, I just don't think it makes sense to have Blackburn in this situation. We saw him, basically give up the game in his last appearance against the Tampa Bay Rays on June 13th, where the Mets had a nice 5-1 lead, and they blew that lead, lose 7-5, go on to get swept in that series. You have a nice, healthy lead on the Braves right now, but it's still only June, so there's no reason to let the Braves feel like they have a chance to get back in the standings. And, of course, the Phillies are right behind you. I'm not saying the Mets are giving up or throwing this game, but, man, it's a pretty lopsided pitching matchup in a matchup like this. So I'm going to roll with the Braves in this one on the run line. I think Blackburn struggles. I think the Braves pick up the W. Next up, we've got the Orioles and the Rays. We got Taj Bradley for Tampa Bay, but no official starter right now for the Orioles. Now, Bradley, kind of an unlucky situation for him last game where he gave up 5 unearned runs against the New York Mets. It obviously wasn't his best start of the season, 4 base hits and 4 walks given up. But he did have 5 strikeouts in 4 innings. His strikeout numbers have been a little bit better in his last 5 games, and he's got over 30% strikeout rate against his current Orioles lineup. The Rays offense has been there to back up their starting pitchers recently. The bullpen's been sharp. I think the Rays do take this game on the money line at Steinbrenner Field. Next up, we've got the St. Louis Cardinals and the Chicago White Sox. We got Sonny Gray and Sean Burke as the starters. I think we see some runs in this one. I think both starting pitchers could be in trouble. I've mentioned many times this season I expect major regression for Sean Burke. We're starting to see that. He gave up 7 runs his last game. He's got one of the steepest expected ERAs in Major League Baseball in terms of starting pitchers with the amount of innings that he's had this year. And I think St. Louis, while I expect their offense to kind of even out as the season goes along, I still think they have enough firepower to get to Burke for a few runs early, add a few runs in the White Sox bullpen. Then you look at Sonny Gray. He's been very inconsistent on the road this season. 3 really good outings on the road and then 2 miserable starts, including his last game in Milwaukee. And overall against his current White Sox lineup, even though the White Sox lineup is not great on paper, they've had pretty good numbers against Sonny Gray. A low strikeout rate, high expected slugging percentage of .518, xWOB at .375. I think Sonny Gray struggles in this one. He has an ERA above 5 on the road this season. And I think this game goes over the total, Cardinals-White Sox. Next up, we've got the Royals and the Rangers. We got Chris Bubic for KC, but no official starter right now for the Rangers. Now, Bubic this season's been one of the best lefties in baseball, and he's had 2 bad starts this year. Both were against the New York Yankees. That's a team that he struggled with in the past as well. So no surprise to see him struggle yet again in his last game, but I think he bounces back. He's been great on the road this year. The Rangers against left-handed pitching in the last 30 days, some of the worst numbers in baseball. I think the Royals do win a low-scoring game here at Globe Life Field, so give me KC with a lean towards the under as well. Next up, we've got the Brewers and the Cubs. We've got Jacob Misiorowski and Jameson Taillon as the starters. Now, Misiorowski pitched well in his Major League debut. 5 innings, 5 strikeouts, no hits, no runs. He did give up 4 walks, and I do think that Misiorowski is going to put together a good rookie campaign, but this is a tough matchup because you're in Chicago against a Cubs team. It's been great against right-handed pitching all season, and the wind is blowing out of Wrigley Field to left field over 10 miles per hour. It looks like, obviously the weather can change, but this does look to be pretty hitter-friendly weather at Wrigley Field. And I think Mizorowski, a strikeout dependent guy that can lose his control, miss inside and outside the zone at times, could be in trouble. I think that the Cubs get to him for a few runs. I think he does give up some sharp contact and some home runs to go with it. And I think Jameson Taillon's going to be good enough. I mean, he has to pitch in the same situation. Obviously, it's not going to be great for pitchers for this game, but the Brewers have not been great against right-handed pitching. Taillon's got solid numbers against Milwaukee and the current hitters in his career. He faced the Brewers earlier this season, put together a quality start. So I think Taillon's good enough in this game for the Cubs to win and potentially cover the run line. Next up, we've got the Astros and the Athletics. We got Framber Valdez and Luis Severino as the starters. Now, Severino continues to struggle at home. He's got an ERA. You look at his splits this season. On the road, he's been excellent. Sub 1 ERA at home this season through 38 and 2/3 innings. But pitching at home, 52 innings, 7.1 ERA, 291 opponent's batting average, 6 home runs given up. He has just not been able to figure it out. And the Astros, not a great lineup on the road, but I think they'll be able to do some damage against Severino. Framber Valdez is missing a ton of bats right now. He's in great form. I got to roll with the Astros in this one on the money line, maybe even the run line on the road. Next up, the Guardians and the Giants. We got Logan Allen and Justin Verlander as the starters. Now, Justin Verlander, his first start back in over a month. For a veteran that's been there, done that, that's returned from injuries before, I'm not as worried about him as I would be maybe a younger pitcher, but I still think that the Guardians will be able to find some runs off him. I also don't think it's going to be a very long outing for Verlander, maybe 4 or 5 innings. I think Logan Allen pitches pretty well, though, on the other side. I mean, the Giants have not been great against lefties in the last month. Very low OPS, below 600. So I'm going to lean towards the under in this game. I think both starting pitchers put together solid outings. I think the bullpens also pitch pretty well. I lean towards the Guardians and the under in this game. And the final game we're to talk about for the Wednesday card in Major League Baseball, it's the Padres and the Dodgers. We've got Stephen Kolek and Emmett Sheehan making his major season debut for the Dodgers in this one. Sheehan, great numbers in the minor league rehab starts, great strikeout numbers in particular, and the control was okay. I mean, he gave up a couple of home runs, but I think Sheehan's going to be able to put together a solid season debut, probably 4 or 5 innings at the most, with some pretty good numbers and good strikeout numbers to go with it. Kolek, he's pitched well so far, but this is a really tough matchup on the road at Dodger Stadium. We're seeing the Dodgers bats really put together some good performances and some rallies as well. We saw in the first game of this series, Dylan Cease struck out the first 5 batters. He looked like he was going to put together a great outing. The Dodgers were able to rally, string together some base hits, get some 2-out hits to go as well. And I think that this could be a tough spot for Kolek and the Padres bullpen. So I'm going to roll the Dodgers in this one on the money line, maybe even the run line as well. And that's it. Those are the games for Wednesday in baseball. Hope you enjoyed this video. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium, and there is a link in the description. As always, Romanelli, good luck.